Hi everyone, welcome back to the Testing Mentor. In my previous video, I talked about what exactly happens in the Amazon bar raiser round, why it's considered the toughest, and what makes it unique. Today, we are taking it one step further. I'll walk you through 5 bar raiser questions focused on Amazon's key leadership principles, that is earn trust, customer obsession, ownership, and buys for action. And I'll also share how you can frame your answers to impress the bar raiser. Let me take you to the first question. Tell me about a time when you had to rebuild trust with a manager or a stakeholder after losing it. Let's start with the context. What led to the trust issue? Then acknowledge the mistake openly. Show what steps you took to rebuild that trust and end it with what you learned. Let me share a sample answer with you. In one of my projects, I missed a critical defect during regression testing that reached the production. It impacted a key customer feature and my manager lost confidence in my test coverage. I took full ownership, I analyzed the gap, introduced an additional regression validation checklist, and started doing peer reviews for critical features. Within 2 sprints, our defect leakage dropped to 0. More importantly, I made it a habit to communicate risks proactively. My manager appreciated the transparency and it helped me rebuild that trust completely. So the tip here is bar raisers look for self-awareness and transparency. Don't hide your mistake, show how you learned from it. Let's move on to the second question. Describe a time you went above and beyond for a customer. Let me give you my sample answer. During a major release, a high-value customer faced issues in our payment flow. It was a weekend, but instead of routing it through standard escalation, I personally joined the debugging call with the support and backend team. We identified that a configuration flag was not updated in one of the regional servers. I stayed until the issue was fixed, validated the flow end-to-end, and then documented the fix so no other customer would face it again. That experience reinforced why customer obsession isn't just about quick fixes, it's about preventing pain in the future as well. So the tip here is show ownership of the customer's problem and long-term thinking. That's what the bar raiser values. The third question would be, tell me about a time you took responsibility for something outside your job scope. My answer goes like, our CI/CD pipeline was constantly failing due to outdated Jenkins plugins. It wasn't technically part of my QA scope, but the instability was slowing down releases. I took the initiative to upgrade and stabilize the pipeline, created documentation for the new setup, and even trained other teams to use it. It improved build success rates by 40% and reduced deployment delays. I learned that true ownership means thinking beyond your title. It's about doing what's right for the team. The tip here is use metrics if possible. Amazon loves data-backed impact statements. Let's move on to the fourth question. Give me an example of a time when you had to make a quick decision with limited data. My answer would be, during a peak sale event, our automated tests started failing suddenly in staging. We had limited time before the production window. Instead of waiting for full RCA, I quickly analyzed the logs, identified that the failures were due to a third-party API rate limit, and switched to mock APIs temporarily. This ensured we didn't block the release, and later we fixed the root cause by adding retries. The decision helped us maintain release velocity without compromising the quality. The tip here is show that your bias for action isn't recklessness. It's calculated urgency backed by judgment. And my last question for the day would be, how do you handle situations where your idea was rejected by leadership? My sample answer would look like, I once proposed introducing Playwright for UI automation to replace a flaky Selenium setup. My manager wasn't convinced initially due to migration effort. Instead of pushing back emotionally, I built a small proof of concept showing test stability improvement and faster execution time. I presented data comparing both tools. That changed the perception and the team adopted Playwright for new modules. This experience taught me that earning trust requires patience, respect, and data, not arguments. Bar raisers are checking whether you influence without authority and maintain respect under disagreement. So, these were the 5 sample bar raiser questions focused on some of the toughest Amazon principles, that is earn trust, customer obsession, ownership, and bias for action. Remember, this round isn't about fancy answers. It's about how you think, decide, and take responsibility. If you want me to cover all Amazon principles in detail, please drop a comment below and let me know. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more interview deep dives.